Some of the best engineers have given us some of the greatest machines and greatest advancements in technology, but on occasion, the engineering fails. Hi everyone, I'm the engineer, these are fictional facts, and this is the top 10 worst engineering failures. Number 10. The Tacoma Bridge Collapse. Tacoma Bridge is a suspension bridge in the US state of Washington. It was opened on July 1st, 1940 and collapsed on November 7th. An engineering flaw known as aeroelastic flutter caused the bridge to sway in the wind. On the day of November 7th, 64 km/h winds or 40 mph winds caused the bridge to collapse. The only fatality was Tubby, a black male Cocker Spaniel who was trapped inside a vehicle that was stalled on the swaying bridge. Number 9. The Columbia Space Shuttle. On February 1st, 2003, the Columbia Space Shuttle disintegrated upon re-entry. All 7 crew members were killed. During the launch, a piece of foam insulation broke off from the Space Shuttle external tank and struck the left wing of the orbiter. NASA limited the investigation, saying that even if the damage had been discovered, the crew would not have been able to fix the problem in time. Number 8. The Challenger disaster. On January 28, 1986, the NASA rocket Challenger broke apart 73 seconds into takeoff. Overnight lows allowed the ice to build up on the launch pad. The O-ring was not designed for takeoff under the unusually cold conditions. The O-ring catastrophically failed, and the Challenger orbiter broke apart due to aerodynamic forces. All 7 crew members were lost. Number 7. Chernobyl. A catastrophic nuclear accident on April 26, 1986. This is considered the worst nuclear event in history in terms of cost and casualties. An explosion and fire released large amounts of radioactive particles into the atmosphere. 31 workers died in the explosion. From 1986 to 2000, more than 350,000 people have been evacuated from the area. Investigations on cancer potentially caused from exposure to radiation in the area is still ongoing. Number 6. Hindenburg. The Hindenburg disaster occurred on May 6, 1937. As airships travel through the air, they gain static electricity. Upon arrival, the pilot makes a hard turn to get into position. It is suspected that during this hard turn, one of the bracing wires snapped, cutting a hydrogen bag open. The footage reveals that the mooring ropes are dropped. They then got wet from the rain, allowing them to conduct electricity, causing a spark from the Zeppelin covering to the airframe, igniting the leaking hydrogen. There were 36 fatalities. According to Zeppelin regulations, the ship should not have attempted to land in thunderstorm conditions. Number 5. Japan Flight 123. Japan Airlines, August 12, 1985. A Boeing 747SR suffered explosive decompression 32 minutes into a flight. The decompression was caused by a faulty repair to the aft pressure bulkhead after a tail strike. There were 524 people on board. Miraculously, 4 people did survive. Number 4. The Sultana Steamboat. The Sultana was a sidewheel steamboat that was used on the Mississippi River. The steamboat was designed with a capacity of 376. On April 27, 1865, she was traveling while carrying 2,427 passengers when 3 of the 4 boilers exploded, killing approximately 1,800 passengers. The disaster at the time was overshadowed by the fact that John Wilkes Booth, President Lincoln's assassin, was killed days before. Cause was that the extra passengers made the boat top-heavy, along with mismanaged water levels in the boilers. Number 3. The Titanic. On April 15, 1912, after colliding with an iceberg, the Titanic sank during her maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. There were only 16 lifeboats on board, which was sufficient for 1,178 people. There were approximately 2,224 aboard. In the event, there were approximately 1,500 casualties. This disaster has spawned the regulations requiring ships to travel with enough lifeboats to accommodate all passengers at all times. Number 2. The Bangkaio Reservoir Dam Collapse. Bangkaio Reservoir is a dam in Henan Province, China. In 1975, a weather event that included Typhoon Nina colliding with a cold front leads to the area getting a year's worth of rain in 24 hours. Flooding in the area and subsequent famine, along with epidemics, have killed estimates between 171,000 with reports of upwards of 230,000 people. 11 million homes have been lost in the area due to flooding. Since the disaster, the Chinese government has spent billions on surveillance, repair, and consolidation of reservoir dams. Number 1. The BP oil spill, or Deepwater Horizon oil spill. On April 20th, 2010, after an explosion that sank the Deepwater Horizon oil rig on the British Petroleum-operated Macondo Prospect, an open seafloor oil gusher continued to flow for 87 days until it was capped on July 15, 2010. Approximately 4.9 million barrels, or 210 million US gallons, at a rate of 53,000 barrels per day, leaked into the Gulf of Mexico. There were 11 casualties in the initial explosion. Despite a massive attempt to contain the spill, a large area of the Gulf of Mexico was still contaminated. As of 2013, the company had lost $42.2 billion in criminal and civil settlements. In 2014, courts ruled that BP was primarily responsible because of its gross negligence and reckless conduct. And in July 2015, BP agreed to pay an additional $18.7 billion in fines, making it the largest corporate settlement in history. That's our list. Did I leave anything out? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching my video. I'm the engineer. As always, these have been fictional facts.